Hello, wizards. How are you doing today? Today, I want to share with you how sometimes our higher self communicates to us through symbologies and repeating thoughts, because these are something that I have experienced myself in my own awakening journey, and I want to share with you so that you might be able to tap into such communications if they are happening, right? So you see, sometimes our higher mind, our higher self wants to give us something which requires a certain element of understanding, let's say third density understanding, because many times, because our higher version, our higher self, are higher versions of ourselves, so it knows things on much grander level, things that we still do not have grasp of in third density linear mind understanding. So when it wants to give to us something, sometimes it requires some third density, constructs. And that is why sometimes I have found my higher self giving me some things through symbologies, okay, and sometimes repeating thoughts, okay. Symbologies are really interesting. It's because I can remember one particular instance, and I've shared about that sometimes in my YouTube channel. So you might have noticed that when I was going through my dark night of the soul, mid from 2019 to mid 2020, when it was really at its peak, uh, many times I would notice that I would get images of symbologies, and I would not have any clue why. Actually, not just during mid 2020. It was going on for almost 10, 15 years. Many symbologies I have received, which I have no clue of what they are, but it seemed that the message behind those symbologies were so big that I knew that it has to do with something with the awakening journey. You see, I had been going through my dark night of the soul experience for a long time, and for 10 years, more than that. I came out of it only in mid 2020, but in between 2019 to 2020, I remember I was receiving one particular symbology that now I call the Ouroboros. It's known as the Ouroboros. It's the snake biting its own tail, the rounded thing. I made one video sharing what this symbology means, what I've received, the integration, and this is what I teach now in my programs too. I teach to my students. It's about unity consciousness. You might watch that video, might find it here in the card section. But when I received that symbology, the first time it came to me, I had no clue, like what's going on. But then it happened. Remember, repeating thoughts and symbology. So sometimes I would receive the symbology and I have no clue, and maybe I'll brush it away, like, oh, it just came as like a random thought, so I'll ignore it. But then it would just keep coming again and again and again and again. Like I would remember that in mid 2020, when I was going through the dark night of the soul, the peak moments, I would need to rest a lot. I used to be exhausted. I was going through tons of ascension symptoms. So I would rest. I would sleep, and a lot. And that is when sometimes I notice while I am resting, the symbology will just come. It will just be in my head as if like it is asking me to see it, like see this symbology. This is what you need to know. This is what is going on. You need to know this. And it kept coming to me days after days, and that is when I'm like, what the hell, I don't know. And I sat on my computer and I searched it, snake biting its own tail. What is this? Because I'm from India, and in India, in Indian spirituality, there's a lot of symbology, but I had no idea what this symbology means, and it is not from the Indian spiritual culture. So I had no clue. So when I searched it up, I found out that it is known as the Ouroboros, and this symbology does exist. And there are many interpretations of that, of course. But the moment I found that, I was receiving the confirmation that yes, I have done something that my higher self wanted me to do, is to find out and Google and find out that image. I'm like, okay, now what? I don't know. So usually when you receive a symbology like that, or when you see a weird dream or a weird synchronicity and find some confirmation, the natural tendency is this, that let's find out what it is, what does it mean, what the world knows about it, or what you can find out about it, think it out. But that is when my higher self was like, no, you don't have to figure it out because I'm going to give it to you. Okay, and that was the coolest part. And I did not know back then this is how it works. My hero version, I talk about the 3 stages of consciousness, the victim, hero, and the wizard. So maybe you might watch that video. Maybe you will find it in the card section here. So my hero version was like this. It's like, I want to do things on my own. I want to figure it out. And my higher self was like, no, you can't. They have no idea what it is. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? It asked me to relax and stay centered, and then it happened. It took a long time, and I did not focus on it. Months went away, and slowly, many integrations happened, many paradigm shifts happened, which is now part of my wizard initiation program, the 4-week program, where I teach students about the shifts of the 4th densities, timeline shifting, manifesting stuff, laws of the wizard consciousness. When all these things started to happen, months after, I noticed automatically have already grasped what that symbology was all about. And again, I've shared that in one of my videos. You might find that really interesting. Okay, the Ouroboros. So this is what I want to share with you today, that the higher self sometimes wants to give us a lot of things, and it will find ways to give it to you. So if you are noticing that in your awakening journey you are experiencing some repeating thoughts, when these repeating thoughts come, because we are not used to understanding how downloads work, how vibrational integrations come to us, when these things come, we feel like it's a fluke, it's our random thought. But this is where it will be different. If it is a higher self communication happening, it will repeat, it will keep repeating until you are like, okay, this is not my doing, let's find out what is going on. And you will find out amazing stuff. Okay, I'm going to share one more experience. Okay, if you know already, if you follow my channel, then you probably are aware that I am a hobbyist musician. I play instruments, I love music, and this was again going on during 2019-2020. That is, I was playing a lot of instrumental guitar music, and then suddenly I noticed that there is this deep desire to explore Indian classical music. So we have in India an entire genre of classical music, which is very different from Western classical music. It's very spiritual and it's very meditative sort of a thing. So it used to be pretty boring for me previously, but then I was getting really interested in Indian classical music. And then I noticed that my energies are just wanting to explore Indian classical music. So I watched a ton of videos, explored a whole lot of music, and suddenly then one day it was like, I want to learn to play the sitar. Now there's an Indian classical instrument called the sitar, and I just wanted to learn that. And it was such a massive pull, like I just want it, I can't wait. I need to have that instrument. It was a tremendous pull. And at first it did not make sense. I'm like, what? Why? It doesn't matter. But it's like some energy just wants to go there and just wants to have that. And I found the funds to purchase a beginner level sitar. And then this crazy thing happened. I started learning the sitar super fast. It happened so quickly. Like in 3 to 4 months, I uploaded my first video playing a simple introductory raga alap, an introduction, and I was amazed at myself, like how fast that happened. So this is another way your higher self communicates to you. If you find yourself again receiving a really strong resonance, really strong inspiration of doing something, moving towards certain things, anything, do not overthink, do not think like why it is, because if the resonance is coming back to you again and again and again, similar, you see, repeating thoughts or repeating inspiration, it does not matter. If it keeps coming to you, that means that you are ready to move towards a certain direction and your higher self wants you to go there, you see. And when you go there, you will find out so much amazingness that is waiting for you on so many levels. So in conclusion, what I would like you to maybe become a little aware of is what are some of the repeating experiences, repeating thoughts, or repeating inspirations that have been coming to you, which probably you have been ignoring. You see, maybe it's time to pay attention to that and move in that direction, because it might be your higher self communicating to you, right? So if you want to know more about how your higher self communicates to you, then you need to know that you have a divine guidance system. You have a divine guidance system right within you through which your higher self communicates to you 24/7. There are indicators, which I call the inner indicators. If you can start paying attention to the inner indicators, you will be able to develop your connect with your higher self. And I'm hosting a free 90 minutes masterclass group training session this Saturday, where I'll be sharing with you how to connect with your divine guidance system. You see, you'll find the link of the masterclass sign up page in the description of my YouTube video. Go visit the description and sign up immediately, because in the masterclass, I'm going to share with you all about what is wizard consciousness, what is this fourth density stage of consciousness, how to connect with your divine guidance system, and how we manifest our best life in wizard consciousness using the fourth density manifestation techniques such as timeline shifting, which is really cool stuff. I'm going to share with you my own personally developed method, the 2-minute inner audit method, which is a simple practice that will help you connect with your divine guidance system. Once you connect with your divine guidance system, your life is going to be absolutely magical. So you don't want to miss out on this amazing opportunity, because you will get to ask me questions directly in the group training and I will get to answer your questions directly. It will be an interactive sessions. We will all have our cameras on during the entire session and it will be amazing. Okay, so sign up for my masterclass. Link is in the sign up. Link for the sign up page is in the description. And if you have enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy another video where I shared about these 3 stages of consciousness. You see, the victim, the hero, and the wizard. Because our higher self becomes more transparent to us when we arrive at the wizard stage of consciousness. So watch the video on the 3 stages of consciousness. Probably it will be appearing in your screen right now. So have fun and I'll see you again soon.